Hello monkeys, it is I, your Shizakage, and welcome to my brand new Football Manager 2022 Newcastle Career Mode video. This is going to be a series following my journey in Football Manager with Newcastle. A little bit of background. My mum was a Newcastle fan when I was growing up. I don't think she is now, but she was a massive Newcastle, I mean she still kind of is, but she was a massive Newcastle fan when I was younger, and I always used to kind of rib her in the back and whenever Newcastle lost. I still do, but now Newcastle United have been taken over by a global consortium headed by, I think it's Saudi Arabian somehow, but they've been given a lot of money to play with, a lot of money, and I'm going to take advantage of that and try and see if I can build something sustainable, kind of like what the Sheikh has done at Manchester City, more than what has happened at Paris Saint-Germain. Not Germain. Mispronunciation. Apologies to any fans from France and fans of Paris Saint-Germain. I want to build something sustainable. Training facility. I guess you can't really do that in Football Manager, but you can. I want to build up the youth team so we have a consistent production line of good, talented footballers coming through. I want to invest in facilities. Obviously, if I'm there long enough, if I decide to be there long enough, maybe see if I can get a new stadium, a bigger stadium, because I think Newcastle, for the fan base, deserve it. I mean, they have a huge fan base, especially up north, because they're like, the only real team in that area. Yes, I know Carlisle United and Sunderland exist, but we don't talk about them in this series. Anyway, so I've already picked out a few targets. I have set up my tactics and implemented some training regimens. This is just going to kind of be a few videos of me explaining that whole process and what I'm doing and where I plan to go, what kind of players I have, what kind of players I want, what kind of players I don't want, staffing changes, and obviously, youth. Every month I'm in game, I'm going to have a more detailed look at a specific aspect, but more on that later. Let's get straight into the video and see how my manager is going to set up. So, as you can see on the screen, I'm not going to actually read out a lot of these, but as you can see on the screen, it's breaking news coming out of Newcastle. Newcastle United have today confirmed the appointment of Shizakage James Thomas as the club's new manager. Eyebrows have been raised in the world of football at the appointment of the inexperienced 34-year-old, and he is sure to face plenty of questions when he faces the media for the first time at St James's Park. Thomas has put pen to paper on a 3-year deal worth $52k a week. That is the breaking news, and from there we're going to just go straight into the squad. As you can see, I have highlighted a few players that I think are going to be important to us this season in the first team. There are some young players there, the likes of Sean Longstaff and Joe Willock and Jamal Lewis, but these guys who I've highlighted are the guys that I am going to focus on in this first part of the video. They're the guys that I think are going to be 100% important for us in 95% of our games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of a squad of like 25, 26, 6 players. So you can see the amount of a rebuild that I believe, and most Newcastle fans will tell you, that Newcastle have. We have a good goalkeeper. We have fantastic right back, a fantastic centre midfielder, a fantastic left midfielder, and a very good striker. That's really it. We have a few like decent squad players there, the likes of Chris Wood, Miguel Almiron, and Jolinton can be kind of used. But other than that, I'm not really convinced that the entire team is going to be good enough to challenge for trophies. Not even the Carabao Cup, in my opinion, and that's no shade on these guys. Like, they're professional footballers in real life. It's not like they are bums or anything. It's just in the scope of Football Manager, I think there can be better options out there. But we're going to look at some of the players I highlighted, and starting off with Martin Dubravka. And the first thing I do is, because this is probably a better kind of showing of how good the guy is, how good a player he is looking at this little kind of graph. So it's an attribute analysis graph. So we're going to switch over to that, and we're going to use that because it shows us really where these guys are and how well rounded these players are. And with Martin Dubravka, he is the best goalkeeper we have at the club by a country mile. You can see in his star rating, you can see in his attribute rating, and you can see by this chart. He's a great shot stopper, fantastic shot stopper. He's good in the air. He's got a good speed. Well, he's okay speed. He's quite physical. It's not too eccentric, which is okay. Distribution wise, it could be better. And yeah, I personally think that Martin Dubravka is a very good goalkeeper. In real life and in the game, he's got all the stats you need to be a top quality goalkeeper. Only problem is that he's out injured for 4 months, we're going to say. That's going to be annoying because we're going to have to start a backup keeper, Carl Darlow. So I think a new goalkeeper in the future is definitely needed here. 2 years, maybe. Dubravka can be that guy who bridges between the old and the new, really. I'd like him to stay for a couple of years at the very least, because his experience is going to be invaluable to these guys. That's generally it. What else do I have to say about Martin? Not much else. I mean, as you can see from the screen grab, well, it's not screen grab, it's actual video, but as you can see for yourself, he's really good in a few areas. Next, onto our right back, England international Kieran Trippier, former Tottenham, Burnley, Manchester City and Atletico Madrid player. Left Tottenham, won a trophy, like they all do. Anyway, shout out to all my Tottenham fans out there. Hard season, but back to Kieran Trippier. What can I say about this? He's a fantastic player. He should have more good stats than he does, and he has a lot of good stats. But this guy is just superb. He's criminally good from set pieces. Great crossing, good dribbling, good defensively. Like you can see from his chart there, he's good defensively, good physically, good speed. He's got okay vision. He's great going forward. He's good technically, not great in the air, but I don't think he would be for a guy his height. Fantastic mentally. Like, he's a well-rounded, very good player. I think he should be rated a lot higher in this game, if I'm 100% honest. He is going to be our leader in defence, I think, because we don't really have much else. I'm going to try and change that, but yeah, Kieran Trippier, it's all on you. He's not going to be available for a while because of his international duties. I mean, his international commitments, he's on holiday. Next up, Matt Targett. Again, flick back to Kieran Trippier and then go and look at Matt Targett. Look at their will and look at their stats. Kieran Trippier has better stats than Matt Targett, but they are the same rating on the will. It's insane. But anyway, back to Matt Targett. I like Matthew Targett. I think he is underused. I think he is fantastic. I want to sign him permanently. He's on loan from Aston Villa. Hopefully I can get a deal done for him, because on the left, I mean, he's a solid player. Good defensively, good offensively, great mentals, great physicals. What more do you want from a left back? I can't see him, if I'm honest, if I do manage to sign him permanently, sticking around for a long time. I think I'd like Dubravka be a kind of bridge between, but compared to the left backs that we have at the club, and Newcastle have a lot of left backs, he's the best we've got, both for what I need and for just in terms of ability, you know, that target. Solid win. Hopefully I can sign him on a deal. I think he's going to cost about £20 million. I don't think he's worth that much in terms of in-game, but I think we could probably get him for a decent price. Yeah, Matthew Target, everybody. Former Southampton and Fulham player and Aston Villa player, now currently on loan at Newcastle United. Watch the space. And this guy, probably the most shocking player to join Newcastle, is Bruno Gamache. I butchered your surname, I am sorry. But he joined from Lyon. There was talks of him going to Arsenal. And again, like, just look at the star rate, and I don't pay too much attention to that with first team players. But how is he 4 stars? Like, this guy is the complete playmaker. He can play defensive midfield, he can play further forward. He's got fantastic vision, technicals, offensive stats. He's okay speed, okay physically, quite surprisingly good defensively. Great mentals, not great in the air, but you know, oh well, not everyone can be everything. This guy can ball out. He is going to be the driving force of this team creatively, I think. You know, just for those passing and that technique and that vision. Oh, oof. If that was, if his stats were walking down the street, I'd say he's got bunda. Like, he's such a good player. So classy as well. Like, seen a bit of him since he joined the Premier League. And he is a very classy guy. Very classy player. So yeah, Bruno Gamache is going to be our key player, I think, going forward. I can't really see anyone else in the team. Well, I can. He's coming up soon. Everyone knows who this guy is. Yeah, stats-wise, Bruno Gamache, attributes-wise, Bruno Gamache is insane. Like, there's no two ways about it. He is just a very, very good, very solid, not even underrated. He's a very, very, very good young player. Now, he's only 23 years old. And now we get to this man, probably the most creative player in the entire team, Alain Saint-Maximin. He signed for Newcastle a few years back from Nice. He's played for Saint-Etienne, Hannover, Bastia, Monaco as well. And he doesn't score many goals. He's not a goal scorer. He's a creator. He's the guy who draws other players into him and then puts the ball into the box for someone to score. That's what I want him to do. He's definitely going to be playing as an inverted winger because I think that's his best role in the game. But just looking at it, like, all of the stats that are in the dark greens, you know, technically he's great. He's got good vision. He's fast as all hell. He's quite physical. He's not a great defender, but I don't have him in my team to be a defender. Mentally, he could probably be a bit better. And in the air, he could definitely be a bit better. But for what he does, for what he brings to the team on that left-hand side, he is, at the moment, the star of the team. And I will not accept anyone else telling me otherwise. Alain Saint-Maximin is going to be probably Newcastle's player of the season for me this year. I think he's that good. There's so many reports in real life coming out of Newcastle that say he is actually, like, insane. Just an insane guy, the trickery he has. And I want to try and utilise that as much as I can. He will be given a lot of freedom down that left-hand side. Just kind of do what he wants. It's one of the reasons why I want Matt Target in the team, because he's solid defensively and he can cover for Saint-Maximin's lack of sort of defensive impetus. And finally, we have Callum Wilson. Anyone who's ever played Football Manager knows the legend that is Callum Wilson. He is an absolute arse to play against. Like, he continuously scores. I remember being 3-0 up and losing 4-3 because he scored like a hat-trick in the last 15 minutes of the game. As a striker, he's fantastic. He puts the ball in the back of the net in the game. In real life, he's not as prolific as his in-game counterpart, but you know, if you just look at his wheel, attacking wise, he's top class. Speed wise, physically, he's great. He's not a great defender, but again, don't need him to be. He's a striker. His job's to put the ball in the back of the net, and I think there's no one better in this team to do that. You know, former Bournemouth, Crawley Town, Tamworth and Kettering United player. And now he's in the twilight, well, not in the twilight of his career, he's in the peak years of his career. He's coming in that like tail end of peak years, but he still can do a job for us. I really do like Callum Wilson. Never actually signed him in Football Manager before, which is a bit of a travesty, but we'll see how he goes. Like I said, I mean, at his age, he's going to be like Dubravka, used as a kind of step-in point for future strikers. I have one in mind. You'll see him in a future video. Hopefully I get to sign him. But Callum Wilson there, I can't see us not scoring goals this season, as long as we can unlock defences. That is the key. And Callum Wilson, Alain Saint-Maximin, Bruno Gomes, they are the guys that are going to help us with that. And I truly believe that. So yeah, that's my rundown of what I would consider to be my best players in the squad. I think now we're going to move on to top youngsters. I think we've only really got 3 like that I would consider to be top talents. I've mentioned them already. Joe Willock, Jamal Lewis, I guess you could include in that one, and even though he's the same age as Bruno, and Sean Longstaff, who is here again, the same age as Bruno. He's a little bit older, but a very well-rounded player. He needs to get better in the air. He could probably do with a bit more defensive impetus as well, but mentally he's there. Hopefully he can improve over the years. I don't want to sell him, but if he can't improve to the point where I can use him in big games, then I will have to. However, I am excited of having him and his younger brother Matty in the squad. He's out on loan, so I'm not going to include him in this little rundown. So yeah, Sean Longstaff is probably, I think, the oldest out of the 3 guys I'm going to talk about now. He's been at Newcastle for a while, and he was subjected to a £50 million bid that was turned down from, I think, Manchester United a couple of seasons ago, or last season, after he scored like a screamer against them to win the game. Like, I think this guy can go places if he has the right mindset, and he's determined, so that's always a good start. I think the next one I'm going to talk about is Joe Willock, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Joe Willock, again, a very good young talent. New signing, signed him on a permanent deal from Arsenal Football Club. Where is he? Back here. As you can see from his wheel, again, he's not very defensive minded. That could be a problem. If we play him and Sean in the same team, or him and Bruno in the same team, we'd have to have a really strong defensive minded midfielder behind them, kind of covering for that lack of defensive impetus and initiative. But attacking wise and speed, you know, his attacking stats are fantastic. Once again though, we have a midfield player who's not very good in the air, so we have to compensate for that. A few weaknesses with Joe, but he gets into good positions. You saw last season in real life when he went on loan to Newcastle how good he really was. And I think that loan showed a lot of people that he's not just this like really talented youngster who's not going to go anywhere. He's got a place in this league. My job is to get the best out of him, and I'm going to try with obviously training, mentoring, and game time to get the best out of him. We'll see. But I do like Joe Willock. I used him in an Arsenal career a few years back in Football Manager, and he turned into one of my best players. Then again, I did kind of re-sign his brother, and yeah, he scored 23 goals in his first season, but that's by the by. I'm segueing here. Yeah, minus aerial and defensively, he doesn't really have many weaknesses in his game. The final player is Jamal Lewis. He's just at the top there. He's left back, Northern Irish international, I think he is. Yeah, Jamal Lewis, 23 years old. Again, not really a youngster, but I'll class him as that. And unlike Matty Taylor, he has a lot of room for growth. I don't think he's going to be a world beater in this position, but I think he can become one of those players who is useful in the squad. I can't see him, even if we don't sign Matty Taylor, I can't see him taking that first team spot. I don't think he's well rounded enough at the moment, and I do have a couple of options for that position. But anyway, that's a breakdown of the Newcastle United squad that I have available to me. The next video I think is going to be about tactics and future signings, so hopefully you stick around for that. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. I am Yoshizakage, and this has been my Newcastle United Football Manager 22 career mode. Laters.